What's up, guys? We're out here in the deer woods today. We're doing some chores, and I'm also getting some mock scrapes rolling. We're only about a month away from season here in South Dakota, and it's time to get those mock scrapes going, getting bucks on them. So come October, November, they know where they're at and they're hitting them every single day. Then we're out here. I'm going to show you guys how I go about making my mock scrapes, what they look like, what I look for, all the ins and outs, and hopefully gives you guys a little better idea if you are unaware of how to run mock scrapes, how to make one. Hopefully you get a better idea after this video. So first and foremost, location that you are looking for. All right, mock scrapes, you want to get these mock scrapes right on a trail of these whitetails. You don't want them off to the side where these deer are not really traveling often. You want to get these suckers right in the middle of a heavily used trail from these deer. And what I got going on here, I got a nice bean field right behind me here. And I got a nice tree strip. We got a heavy trail coming in from the beans into this tree grove. And you can tell that these deer are really using this area, using the wire situation on the fence here to either hop or go underneath and get into this wooded area here. This is actually pretty much right where my buck I killed last year was hitting a scrape a little bit before I sent an arrow at him. There's a couple big beds in the area, and I just know that they're hanging around here. They're coming right down the pipe here where I plan to put this mock scrape. That's kind of what I'm looking for those trails, looking for maybe some low-hanging branches that they might already be hitting. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clear out quite a bit of this excess here because we have a lot of low-hanging branches. I'm going to clear out a decent amount of it and leave one or two main branches because that's what I want to hang my mock scrape off of. I don't want mock scrapes all over the place where they have options to choose from. I want one mock scrape in the middle that they're going to hit, and I know they're going to hit. I got to go ahead, clear out some of this other brush here and make sure it's just my mock scrape sticking out like a sore thumb so they're coming up and hitting it every time. What I want my main limb to be is right here. I'm going to hang my red cedar branch off of this guy, and I'm going to clear out quite a bit of the rest of this stuff here. Okay guys, so I got this cleared out here. I got my main limb that I'm going to be hanging my scrape branch from. What I'm going with for a scrape branch is a red cedar branch. So here's a short one. I might end up using him just because of the height that I'm going to be hanging them from. But I just decided to go with this red cedar because there's not a ton of vines here in South Dakota, especially where I live. And these deer are hitting this red cedar. They love the smell of cedar, and you can see they're making scrapes on cedar trees, rubbing cedar trees, and I have a pretty good feeling that this guy's gonna do well for me. Like I said, it's about an inch in diameter and has a good scent to it. I got a little rope I'm gonna be hanging, and I want to be hip height for this mock scrape. I want fawns, does, anything and everything to be able to hit this mock scrape. I don't want it just for bucks, just for mature does. I want this low enough where fawns, anything's going to be able to come up and rub its face on it to get some scent going and get those glands going on it. I didn't really come too prepared today. I honestly wasn't planning on hanging scrapes, but what I got here is an old mulch strap that broke on me. Probably tightened it way too much, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hang it from this branch. And the reason I like to hang them is you don't want to tie these off or maybe zip tie them off to the branches, because as soon as those deer start hitting it, that thing is either A, going to break if it's long enough, or it's going to end up coming loose, falling out on you, not doing what you want it to. I want this thing to free float, so these deer can come up, rub their faces on it, they can hit it, and that branch is not going to break on me or come loose on me. So that's the idea behind tying these up instead of using a zip tie or something of that nature to get those things tied off directly to the limb. Okay, so I got it about hip height. I'm gonna tie this guy up a little more. Like I said, I'm kind of hillbilly rocking it right now with the old Moultrie strap. If you have a broken Moultrie strap, or any cell camera strap for that matter, don't throw it away. I always just keep them in my pickup because I know I'm gonna end up using them for something someday. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this guy. Save that for next scrape I make. Okay, so we got that guy hung. We're at hip height right here. It's gonna be low enough so those does and fawns can come and lick it and rub their face on it. So that's about perfect height right there. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of scent on this guy. I don't like to overdo it with the scent. I've done that in the past where I overdo it and where it's strong for me to smell. And these deer have a far greater sense of smell than humans do. So if it's strong to me, it's definitely gonna be strong to them. So don't overdo it, guys. You want to put as minimal scent on this thing as you can. So then when real deer come up and rub their face on this, does, fawns, bucks, that stuff is what's gonna work best, because those deer, you put that fake scent on there, it's gonna cover up a lot of that real scent and they're not gonna like it as much. So we wanna keep it as real as possible. What I'm choosing to run for a little scent on this is a little scrape fix, just the original in the yellow bottle here. And this is powder form, so it's supposed to not go bad as quickly. And yeah, we're just gonna shake it up a little bit, spray a little on there, and that's all we need. That's plenty right there. Kind of overdid it a little bit, but that's what happens when you pop open a brand new bottle. I'm gonna spray a little on the ground and that sucker is ready to go. Like I said, I want to minimize the amount of synthetic and store-bought scents here because I want these deer coming up, hitting this, getting their glands on it. I don't want to be masking or covering up that real gland and smell that these deer are going to be putting on it. Got a little bit on there. This thing is ready to go. Like I said, I am hanging it from a branch with a rope. I just have my old Moultrie strap, and I don't want to be tying off directly to this branch because it's going to break a lot easier. It's going to loosen up a lot easier. This thing can just float as they come up and hit it and move around. So they're going to really like that. And then camera position. What we're going to do is we're going to get a camera right off of this mock scrape here because I want to see what deer are coming up and hitting this. Hopefully we're going to have some good pictures and videos very soon of some deer hitting this and show you guys how this worked out. I'm going to go ahead and get a camera situated right on this mock scrape so we can see the action that comes about. You can see the scrape right there, and I'm going to get a camera here in the background so I can still see the trail coming into this scrape. I can see out in the beans. I'll be able to see them running along this fence line here. I like to get these cameras right on the scrape so I can obviously see what is going to be hitting it and hopefully get some deer on it quite quickly. But I got the old Moultrie Edge 2. I want to make sure I got a tree that's wide enough. I like to make sure these cameras are hidden. I don't want a super skinny tree where this camera is going to stick out. Also, these deer aren't going to be able to see it from the side because we got limbs and trees to the side. So it's going to be blocked off from sticking out too much and them seeing it. So it should be pretty nice and hidden back in here so we can watch this activity. So this is what we have going for that mock scrape. Got that branch, camera in the background there. This is going to be the view. We got bean field in the background, mock scrape right there, and We got a nice trail coming right here up the gut, right to where that mock scrape is. So you can see they're using that where the fence is easy to go under or hop over, and they're coming in from the beans and working into here. So there you have it, guys. That is how I go about making my mock scrapes, the locations I'm looking for, kind of the ins and outs, and what I'm doing in preparing these mock scrapes. You don't have to make it too complicated. Like I said, I like to do the vertical hanging branch instead of coming off of a tree. I've had not so good luck with branches ended up breaking, and it just doesn't last throughout the season like I want it to. So I know hanging vertically, this guy is going to be able to move around when they come and hit it, and should be here the same as it is right now at the end of the season. Very excited to see the action that this guy gets on here. Hopefully be able to add some videos of some deer hitting it in the next few days and see how it does out here. Hoping does, fawns, bucks, everything comes up and rubs its face, licks it, leaves a little bit of scent on it, because that's going to go a long way in the long run. So hopefully you guys have a little better idea of what to look for and how to go about making these mock scrapes. Like I said, it doesn't have to be very complicated. Just find a good area with a nice trail, put it right on a trail, and get a nice little setup going and let the deer do the rest. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button, and we'll be coming at you with some more deer hunt content soon.